John Ulzheimer is known as one of our nation's most recognized credit experts. Having worked for 28 years in the credit industry, John has become one of the most prolific speakers about credit and the go-to authority on answers to credit-related questions. Credit Countdown with John Ulzheimer.
Hello, this is John Ulzheimer. I am a consumer credit expert. I have almost 30 years of experience in the credit industry. I have spent time at FICO, which is the company behind the FICO credit scoring system, and Equifax, which is one of the 3 recognized credit bureaus in the United States. So I've got a really good one today, and it kind of pits credit unions versus banks. And the question specifically is it better to get an auto loan from a bank or from a credit union? So that's a very interesting question, because a lot of times when someone goes out and buys a car, they don't really make that decision prior to them going and looking for the car. So a lot of times people will go to a car dealership, they will test drive a car. If they like it and they really are in the market to buy a car, they'll meet with someone from the dealership. That's called the F&I, or the F&I person. That's the finance and insurance manager, and that person is responsible, among other things, for arranging financings for the sale of a car. Some people call it the F&I guy. That's a position at a car dealership, and usually that person works crazy hours to make really good money, especially if they're really, really busy. So when you go to a dealership, the finance and insurance manager, if you tell them, hey, look, I want you to arrange financing for me, they may ultimately work with a local bank, or they may work with a credit union if you are in fact looking for some sort of financing. So you may not even have a say in the matter, because they may come and say, hey, look, we can get you financing from this credit union at 2%, or we can get you financing from this bank at 4%, and you get to decide, yeah, I like that option better, or I like this option better. So in that respect, it's almost like they told you what, these are your options. Now, you could certainly show up at the dealership with your financing already in place. And the way you do this is you're gonna have to plan ahead in order to do this. And so the way you plan ahead in an auto lending scenario or context is you go to your bank or you go to your credit union and you tell them, hey, look, I wanna buy a car. I would like for you to pre-approve me for an auto loan before I even start looking for a car, because it's helpful for me, because A, I know how much I can afford, because you're gonna tell me what I can afford. And number 2 is I know what my interest rates are gonna be, because you're gonna tell me what my interest rates are gonna be, and I'll know, hey, look, this is a good option or this is not a good option. And you can certainly shop around with multiple banks and see what kind of deals they're willing to offer you, and you can choose the one that's best for you. There really isn't that much disparity between the interest rates that you would get on an auto loan from a bank versus the interest rates that you would get on an auto loan from a credit union. Normally, if you've got really good credit, you're going to get a really competitive offer, regardless of whether you choose a bank or whether you choose a credit union. But I'm going to throw, I know the question as it was posed to me was very specific to banks versus credit union. I'm going to throw a curveball in here, and I'm going to talk about something that you may not even know about, called the captive lender. And the captive lender is the financing arm of the manufacturer. So if you're looking for a Ford, then Ford Motor Credit. If you're looking at a Honda, then Honda Finance. So all the manufacturers, Kia Finance, Hyundai Finance, Mercedes Finance, BMW Finance, so they all have their arm of the manufacturer, and they can afford to give you a better deal than the bank or the credit. Remember, the bank or the credit union only makes money based on the interest that you're paying on the loan. The manufacturer makes money off of not only the sale of the unit, meaning, you get another car on the road with their brand, you get another Honda on the road, you get another Ford on the road. And so they don't necessarily have to make as much through the financing of the vehicle, because they're making money off of the sale of the actual car. So it's not unusual that you'll see better deals from the captive auto lender than you may be able to get from a bank or a credit union. For example, if you go and Google something like 0% auto loans, you're going to be able to find that some manufacturers on some makes and models will actually be able to offer you 0% financing. 0% is free money, okay? So if you borrow $10,000 or $30,000 or whatnot from the captive lender at 0%, then you're basically getting your auto loan for free. There's no cost at all to you for you borrowing their money. That's the best deal, because banks can't do that and credit unions can't do that, because that's the way that they earn money, is they have to charge you interest. So when you're considering this bank versus credit union kind of duality, it's not a binary choice. If you buy a new car, you've got to also consider the possibility that the captive auto lender may give you a better deal than a bank or a credit union. So keep that in mind, especially if you're looking for a new car. So if you have any other questions, drop them in the section below. And thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day. We'll talk again soon.
For more videos and credit tips from John Ulzheimer, go to www.tradelinesupply.com.